All right, so this topic, as I would have said, it is very uncomfortable for me to discuss because, I'm a guidance counselor, and to think that this is something that happened to a client in a client counselor relationship with a school counselor, it is disgusting. It is despicable that this could have happened to this particular person. Now, this story was carried by the Star, and if you see me glancing down, I'm looking at the story on my phone, and the person, he's now 24 years old, but he basically recalls his story as when he was 13-year-old, he was having some issues where he stole a laptop, and in his community they were labeling him as a thief. Well, you thief one laptop, so yeah, thief. Yeah, when he was about 13 or 14-year-old, he said that he had a very turbulent childhood, which means say he was a problem child, right? Now, his parents, what they try to do is they try to recommend him to the guidance counselor. They sought help from the guidance counselor when he was in high school, and upon seeking help from the guidance counselor helped him right into his pants. Now, because in his community they labeled him, they were troubling him, and that was taking a toll on him, she, who was a year older than his mother, asked his mother, I'm thinking that that's what he did, for him to come and live with her. Now, when she did that, he went and he lived with her, and in living with her, he ended up in a sexual relationship with her. So he said that she was married, but she was living by herself. She wasn't living with her husband. And as a result of that, a male of the other sex, she's a female, moved in to live with her. This is a teenager, puberty and everything kicking, and as she alone live, right? And we would not do this with the girl picnic them. So why is it that we found it so easy, or why is it that the mother found it so easy to send him to live with this woman who is supposed to be protecting him? This woman took advantage of him. No, he said that his very first sexual encounter was with her, and in having sex with her over the months, whenever he lived with her, years, whatever, he got her pregnant. Now, when he got her pregnant, he said that she told him to drop out of school, so he wasn't going to school anymore. And even though he wanted to go to school, she kept on denying him access to school. He said that he would take the little boy, the child, for 5 years straight. He said that he would take the child to school, he would bathe the child, he would interact, bond with the child. So they were in a full-blown relationship. My question is, who did know about this? Because somebody must did know. Whether it was the mother, his mother must did know about it. The husband must did know about it. And obviously the guidance, nobody never know. What about the people in the community? No one knew about this. Didn't he tell his friends about it? And how was it not reported to the authorities so that this could be dealt with at the full blunt of the law? Right? And the thing about it is, as I said, we would not do this to our girl children. Well, some people do it, but these things are more prevalent with females as opposed to males. The males, they just slip through the crack. And there's an incident that I know about where a dean of discipline, a little boy, it's a similar story. A little boy was sent to stay with a dean of discipline. This is a male dean of discipline, and I heard that the male dean of discipline touched the little boy wrongfully. He violated the little boy, and these are the things that happen to boys. We allow them to slip through the crack. Now he's trying to go through the court to get custody of his child. That's the person from the story in Star. He's trying to go through the courts to get his child, but I don't know how this case is going to be dealt with based on the situation. But I do believe that as guidance counselors, this should not have happened. As teachers, as persons that are set above these children, we're set above them to protect them, to care for them, to love them. Why is it that we're so easy to pass on our children as parents too? Like, this is your child. Sit down with him. Try to figure out strategies that you can use to take care of your child. You know, there are vultures out there, there are predators out there, and not because they dress up in heels and they dress up in jacket and tie. In a means say they're not working for the devil. Some of these persons are wicked. They have a wicked heart and they're working with the devil. And as I said, some of them mad. Some of them sick in them head and they need help. You know what I mean? Many times persons who go into this particular field, they go into this particular field because there's something inside of them that is broken, because there's no way a moral compass should tell you that you should sleep with a 13 or 14-year-old boy, whether you're a man or you're a woman. And whether you want to believe it or not, it is more prevalent than you can think. It's just that with females, it goes to the crack easier. Nobody suspects that these things are happening. You know, when I was going to high school, I heard about female teachers that were sleeping with male students. I had no evidence, but there was always this one little rumor swirling about the place about female teachers who sleep with members on the DaCosta Cup, who sleep with runners, who sleep with track stars, you know. And don't even let me get started on the male teachers. You know what I mean? But we really need to do better as it relates to protecting our men, protecting our boys. And then in the story, he said that he thought he needed to be a man. And that's one of the reasons why he did it. He said that now that he's 24 years old, he recognizes that it was wrong. And I think even back then, he might have known that it was wrong. But for him, you know, in the Jamaican society, he was probably thinking that, oh, I need to do this or else I'm going to seem weak. I'm going to seem as though I'm not manly. I'm going to seem as though you know. So as a result of that, maybe that's the reason why he did it. But he said that no, he recognizes that he was violated. And many of our men, they are being violated in society. And I do believe that we need to do better. We can't just ship off for pitting them. So you have to sit down with your children and take care of your children. And I don't trust nobody. As my pastor said, in God we trust, everybody else we assess. You hear that? Let me say that again. In God we trust, everybody else we assess. So with my child right now, in God I trust, and everybody else is being assessed. Me not trust nobody with my pitney. You get what I say? And it's not that I'm being overprotected, but in today's society, you cannot trust people. You don't know where their thoughts are, where their minds are. You have to protect yours. And that's my 2 cents on that particular story.